Why I changed from Android to iPhone. The reason why I did it is because I wanted to have a higher social status. The end. Just kidding. But this is a very interesting topic to discuss, you know? If you've got an Android that worked perfectly fine, why would you change to iPhone? Well, I will tell you my experience, but bear in mind that this is not a tech channel specifically. I am not an expert on phones at all, I'm just an average everyday user, and this video is about my experience alone. No tech language, no grids, none of that. Purely honest and real opinion here. Got it? Good. First of all, getting myself an iPhone was a decision that required me to think about it for a long time. As a matter of fact, I refused the idea of having an iPhone for 3 years when given the chance. I have always been an Android guy, and before that I was a BlackBerry lad. Yeah, remember those times? But anyway, my first Android phone was a Sony Xperia U. Then I got a Motorola Moto G3. This phone was amazing but got old real quick. Then I went for a Xiaomi Redmi 4, which worked like a charm, but then I got mugged. Then I got a Xiaomi Redmi 5, and finally, my last Android phone I've ever used, my Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Did this phone start to slow down? Hell no, it still works like a charm. If anything, it has not gotten a bit slower ever since I got it. But is it better than my new iPhone? Well, no. My iPhone is a 14 Pro. But before you bash me in the comments, I'll tell you why I have this model instead of a regular iPhone, but just bear with me. When my brother got his first iPhone way back in 2014, he got himself an iPhone 5. I know, not the latest one by that time. And let me have his Xperia. I had to adapt to the smartphone era at this point because Blackberries were getting obsolete, and I hated that change, I truly did. Not just because of the new interface, but because this phone sucked. Seriously, even to this day I still categorize this phone as the worst I've ever had in my life. I am serious, if I open Gmail, the phone will freeze, it was that bad. Fortunately, later phones were much better and much easier to handle, but that Xperia phone was the last Android experience my brother ever had in his life. He would use my Android phone every once in a while for specific things here and there, but he never left Apple once he got in. I used his phone once or twice too, but I never got invested in the interface and operative system. It was a good phone, but not a mind-blowing experience for me. Also, keep in mind that I was not so interested in phones at that time. I saw them just as tools to communicate and using simple apps like WhatsApp, Gmail and Facebook. Nonetheless, I could see how my brother saw the iPhone as a necessary tool and changing it would make his life more difficult, a concept that I could not wrap my head around. Same thing happened when he upgraded to an iPhone 6, iPhone X and iPhone 13 to this day. And for over 3 years, he kept on insisting that I switch to Apple and leave Android behind, which was something I was particularly not eager about. What was the big deal with Apple? Let's not forget that all the memes about Apple fanboys buying everything they're told without ever questioning a single thing. Which brings us to this day. After using the iPhone for almost 2 months now, I gotta say, I understand now. Yeah, I understand why people love the iPhone so much. Before that, let me clarify, it's not perfect by any means and I was able to see a lot of flaws here and there, but I can see why people that changed to iPhones never return to Android. Like I told you before, I had a Samsung Galaxy S20 FE, which is an amazing phone by the way and really affordable if you keep in mind what it can do, and it has always worked like a charm for me. I also got the Galaxy Buds that pair immediately with the phone, which is something that Apple does with the AirPods for the iPhone, so there's no substantial change there. However, I can tell you without a doubt that from the very moment I got my own iPhone, the experience felt welcoming from beginning to end. Leave aside the marketing terms of "it feels premium" or "it's dazzling to the eyes" kind of thing. I'm talking about the interface. It's snappy, user-friendly, and it basically guides you throughout every single step of the way. And I don't say that metaphorically speaking, it literally has a notification center letting you know what else you can do with your phone. That way, I could learn how to set up my alarms, my calendar, my contacts, camera settings, Apple account, and other stuff that I had no idea were necessary for a first-time user. There is one thing that bothered me a bit, and that is the way the swiping commands are used in Apple. Instead of having 3 tactile functions for when you want to go back to the home menu or a different tab, you simply slide or let the button appear in your screen to guide you. It takes some time to get used to it, especially when sliding down to see the settings menu, which can accidentally bring the notification center if you're not precise. The airdrop function seemed like a gimmick to me until I needed to use it myself. Being able to transfer files from one Apple device to another felt snappy, easy and immediate. That is, if the other user has an iPhone as well, which is useless if they don't. I can imagine a lot of users complaining about the limitations in customization in Apple, but you know what? I don't mind. But that is just me, because I've never had the need to over-customize to begin with. Everything is set for you, and if you need to group many apps in a single folder, you can do that, and it will even create a unique name for such folder based on the apps you drop there. The sound quality is not a concern for me if you ask me, as I'm more of a headphone or earphones user, so I rarely have the need to play anything at full volume from my phone. The one thing that actually blew my mind is the Find My app exclusive to Apple, which allows you to track items that have an AirTag attached to them, or even friends and family's phones if they are registered. I have one for my wallet and another one for my keys, and except for some very rare occasions here and there, it always worked like a charm. No latency, no issue, and very precise. The one thing I did not like though, and ended up being a huge bummer for me, is the backup service. You see, Apple provides you with a free storage for backup, which is limited to 5 GB of storage. Your entire operative system, alongside updates and information, is over 5 GB, forcing you to purchase a plan where you have to pay every single month. This is scummy in my opinion, and even though it's relatively cheap, knowing that a 50 GB storage plan is only $1, while 200 GB is just $3, it's the fact that the operative system is just slightly heavier than the minimum, forcing you to make a decision. A. You pay it every single month and secure your information, or B. Refuse to give them your money and risk it. I chose C instead, which was to use iTunes on my Windows PC and back it up there. Of course, it's not going to be synchronized 24/7, and I may have to do a new updated backup here and there, but that's all I need. If anything were to happen to my phone, I can get a new one, upload the info from my computer, and that's it. Which leads me to my final conclusion. Would I recommend you to switch to iPhone? Well, no, not really. I know, kind of contradictory, but listen, the iPhone is an amazing tool, and it does feel like they put a lot of work and effort into making it work. But I don't think that's enough for you to go and get an iPhone to begin with, because any other phone in the world can do the same. Seriously, for the same price or even half the price, you can get an Android phone free of bloatware that will run as smooth as an iPhone and will let you do the same things as well. Remember when I told you that I got an iPhone 14 Pro? Well, that's for a couple of reasons. 1. I record my videos with this phone. I use the camera to get the best footage and edit it later in my PC. I'm still learning how to use it, but I'm getting there little by little. 2. I purchased the latest model up to date, which is ironic knowing that today the iPhone 15 will be released and this iPhone can be considered obsolete by the time you watch this video, but this is a statement as well. I am not thinking of getting a new phone in 10 years unless this phone breaks, becomes extremely slow, or there's a new technological or software update that won't be compatible with this model. I chose the most over-the-top model just so it can last longer. I made a joke about the status thing, but I could not care less about that, to be honest. I don't use iMessage just so I can see the blue bubbles in the chat. I use WhatsApp, Telegram and Line because I have friends all over the world, and those are the most practical messaging services around. Also, I know about the ecosystem that Apple does with its products, but I only have 3. Phone, AirTags and earphones. I refuse to use a Mac because even my brother, who was into the Apple world for longer, prefers regular desktops PCs. So yeah, I don't regret getting this phone because it's a useful tool for me, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend you to get it if you're not committed to adapt to a new technology. If you are interested in doing so, you will be surprised by how flawless it is and how many things you can do. But what do you think? Would you change to iPhone yourself? Do you prefer Android? Let me know in the comments because I would love to know your opinion on the matter. This is Wano and thank you for watching.